G'day everyone and welcome back to Starseeds and Patriots of Down Under. Bit of an awesome little story I've got for you today because this happened about 3 days ago, and it was very strange indeed, as it says in the title, high strangeness whilst out on a walk in the bush, and something that I didn't expect, let's just say that. I've shared this with my groups on social media with Facebook, Telegram, etc. But I thought I'd do a quick video about it and upload the photos to StreamYard for all of you and share them with all of you, my lovely audience, and share the story of how it happened. But what recently happened was on the 17th of December, today being the 20th, September, not December, September, 20th of September today. This happened on the 17th of September, a few days ago, 3 days ago now. And anyway, what happened was I decided to just go for a walk, which is something I rarely do. But I decided to go for a walk, and where I live there's this lovely group of bushland. I've described this bushland before in a previous video where I've done walks before. One where I've also had a spiritual experience in the past as well, where I had an experience with a native kookaburra. That video is available for any of you that want to go back and have a look through my history there on videos. I might even leave the link in the description for you all as well, so you can check it out. But yeah, roughly the same area. So roughly, what is it today? Friday? It's Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday afternoon, around about 4:30, I decided to go for a walk. And at the time, I was basically a little bit annoyed. There's just a few things that were on my mind. Okay, I've been going through some hectic shit lately. Okay, that I've explained in my previous video just before. But yeah, I had some stuff on my mind, and I wanted to go clear my mind, so my thoughts, my feeling, the negative energy, and just leave it out, and for nature to take care of. And this particular day, I decided to go. I took my phone with me, but I left it on silent, and there's a lot of high strangeness in the sky going on. I could see a lot of stuff going on, which I've got loaded up. I'm going to be sharing with all of you today. But anyway, as I've probably left where I am, probably about 5 minutes into the walk, I got a phone call from my best mate up in North Queensland, who I've known for about 30 years now. Okay, since more than 30 years, geez. I was 14, 15 when I met him. I'm 50 now, so there you go. That gives you a bit of an idea of how long I've known this gentleman. I won't reveal his name for privacy reasons, everyone. But you know who you are, mate. You're watching, I know. Anyway, we were proceeding with a great conversation, walking along this footpath, because there's a bike path and footpath where this particular bushland is. It's native bushland, and it runs onto the back of people's houses, and there's also nature reserves and creeks and all sorts of stuff. It's a really beautiful little place to go to, and I should actually go out there a little bit more because I've got it right on my doorstep. And as they say, to ground more and earth more and get closer to nature, to feel more higher in spirit and vibration, frequency and consciousness, we must go out into the bush more and get back close to nature again. Okay, so what happened is I proceeded with my walk and my phone call with old mate. And we were, as I said, having a great conversation about so many different topics and subject matter as we do, because he's right into everything as well. He knows a lot of stuff that I know. He teaches me, I teach him. And I saw this path that I'd never seen before to my right. As I had seen it before, but I'd never ridden it before on my travels. And I decided today, stuff it, I'm going to go off the beaten track, do something different for a change. And if I hadn't have decided to, I would never have experienced this as well. As I'm approaching the path and going up around the loop, I'm basically facing back the way that I just came. So I'm facing east, okay? Excuse me. And what happened was I came across a mother kangaroo and her baby Joey. Yeah, feeding and just grazing in this small little nature reserve section and minding their own business. And I was like, wow, I'm going to take a photo of this while I've got you on the phone. So I got out of phone and I went into my camera app and I proceeded to take a couple of photos from a distance. And I thought, go a little bit closer, see if I can push it a little bit and just see if I can get a little bit closer and get a photo of both of them. Didn't want to get too close. Anyway, I got the photos to show you that I'll show later. Anyway, I got to the point where I saw the mother kangaroo pop her head up and she started looking at me. Okay, and I realised I'd gotten her attention. I know kangaroos' body language from being out on cattle stations when I was 16, doing cattle mustering and kangaroo shooting for meat, etc. Not that I like remembering that sort of thing because I'm actually very much against that now. Something that I very much am still trying to come to terms with, forgiving myself for being involved in such things. But that's what we used to do in the cattle stations, a natural occurrence. Okay, having a fresh kill and actually making that your meat for the month, like a cow. Okay, take it back to the meat room. Anyway, I've noticed the kangaroo's body language, as I said, because I used to work out in cattle stations at 16. And I realised I was getting too close to her and her Joey, and she was feeling a little bit threatened. So I showed her that I was going to back off. I stopped in my tracks right there, and I started to proceed to walk backwards. Okay, on my steps that I just took, so she could see that I was aware of her situation, that she was becoming a little bit agitated and anxious with my presence, and that I was prepared to show her that I met no threat whatsoever. I just wanted to see you, and now I'm backing off. And as I backed off, I'm still facing east. My phone decided to glitch right at that moment as I'm backing up, walking backwards. And I'm sitting there with my old mate on the phone, and I'm shaking my phone like just like, what the? And I've pressed my biometric thumbprint to get out of it and actually close the whole phone. And next thing you know, my phone screen is going flash, on, flash, on, off, flash, on, off, flash, on, off. And then I was able to get back into it again. Now, mind you, I said that I was facing east the whole time, still facing the kangaroo. Okay, the kangaroo and her Joey. When I've turned around finally to walk back the way that I've just come, to go out of the path and back towards the entrance of that part of the footpath that I came up that was off the beaten track, I went back to the main footpath that was along the train line, which is alongside the nature reserve bushland that I've been talking about. And so I, again, facing back towards the way I came. Okay. As I've walked away, I was facing west. Okay, so I'm now facing east again. And anyway, I proceeded to talk to David, my old mate Dave. Sorry. Anyway, conversation was brilliant. Come home, kept on conversing with him for about a good 45 minutes. So let's say the whole phone call, the walk, the experience of photographing the baby Joey and her mum lasted about an hour and 31 minutes, I think, all up. That's what was on the call counter. So I'd probably been gone about an hour and 45 minutes, probably all up. So good time out in the bush, mind you. And next thing you know, my sister and her partner, because they're staying with me at the moment, as I mentioned in the previous video, they're staying with me at the moment. They've come in, and I told them about what I just experienced, how I'd just gone to have a walk, and I was able to photograph a kangaroo and her baby Joey. Didn't mention anything about the glitch or anything like that. It was unimportant to me because really at the end of the day, phones glitch out all the time. All sorts of shit happens with them. Okay? Sometimes you've got to restart them and reboot them. Okay? But anyway, we've gone through the photos, and the photos were, not the best, okay? They weren't the best because my camera's an old camera on my phone. It's a 3-year-old Oppo A16. So, it is 3 years old. The pixel quality isn't the best, so that's why I said I went a little bit closer to get a little bit of quality picture closer to them with the zoom on. And that's how I was able to get the last shot a little bit clearer. Anyway, we're going through the photos. I've showed them the photos, and I accidentally swiped across too far. And I've seen that there's a group of, one photo there that is absolutely extraordinary. And then the next photo, and the next photo. And I'm like, whoa, there's 3 photos here that I did not actually physically take. For one, I was facing east. The positioning of where this was taken was 90 degrees opposite to where I was standing. So let's say I'm facing east right now. This was taken to my right, okay, facing south. Yeah. There's no physical way that I can actually take a photo when my phone is actually going off, on, off, on, off, on, as I described. Okay? It was glitching out. What I discovered in my photos was absolutely extraordinary. And this is where I get to show you, the audience, what I found, or what we found, my sister, my brother-in-law, and myself, on my phone after I have returned from my walk. Now, I hope you are ready for this, because this is kind of really strange, because even I can't explain this exactly either. So I'd love it if everyone could just leave their comments below in regards to this and what your thoughts are as to what this possibly is. So here we go, guys. Check this out. This is a photo of 90 degrees opposite to where I was standing. And as you can see here in the sky, look at that. Above the tree line, coming down from the top of the picture and stopping mid-picture in the middle of the screen there, is a column of dark. What that is, I do not know. Whether it be a beam of energy, or, I'm not saying directed energy weapon, I'm saying beam of energy coming from above, activating certain grids, etc., ley lines, or is it a portal, Stargate? Is it a ship? We see ships come in all different shapes and sizes these days through different movies, so there's no real definition to the actual the very definition of an actual ship can be anything, so long as it can carry and convey passengers from one place, from point A to point B, and have whatever net means on board it needs to for them to survive. I guess any ship can be any shape. And we saw in the recent Marvel's movies through Kevin Feige in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where there's ships that look like styluses from our latest iPads and Samsung pads that we used to doodle and draw and do art with. These ships particularly look like styluses. So who's to say what's in the sky there is possibly one of these types of ships? We don't know what the Galactic Federation has up there, or what types of groups or conglomerates of different star nations are working with them, and the types of technology and ships that they've actually possibly developed over many thousands of years. We have no knowledge of that. Is this a cylindrical ship owned by one of us, say Solar Warden, or part of the military alliance, our actual Space Force, possibly? Don't know. That's why I'm just pondering all these things. I'm not saying what they are. I'm asking questions. I'm letting you, the audience, decide for yourselves. Where I'm just basically pondering here, asking for your advice, your intuitive thoughts on this matter, because I myself have no idea what this is. Now, if you can see actually closely on the screen, you can see there's also light coming up from the ground around this. If you can see my cursor on screen, you can see just to the side here, there's light coming up from the ground like a beam. So this is like appearing in the sky. So whatever it is very strange indeed. Okay, and you can see that there's something at the bottom too. Now, the funny thing is, everyone, this also appeared on a video that was on That's Impossible channel. This was across the world on the other side. Okay, so the strangeness of this in itself shows that this particular whatever it is that was in the sky appeared in two separate places, and it appeared for me in the sky. And as I said in the post, this thing appeared for me on the 17th of September 2024. This also was in a video that morning of 17th of December, but I did not remember this particular image until I saw what was on my phone, and I went back into the actual video on That's Impossible channel to screenshot this picture for use to reference between the two, so that you can decide for yourselves. Now, here's another picture of something else that appeared in the sky that day as well. Now, I know most of you have heard me say and quote before, Mother Nature does not design or build in straight lines. nor do clouds come in straight lines. Can any one of you see a particular plutonic shape there in the sky? I know I can. Check this out. Can you see it now? I tried to get the outline of it as close to it as possible so you can see the reference. But that is clearly something that is camouflaged in the sky. You be the judge, everyone. You be the judge. Now, I'm going to get on to another quick story that happened to me a couple of weeks ago as well, just so that you can see that I'm actually still doing things behind the scenes, even though I haven't been present online. I have had a lot of my time taken recently with a lot of things that are going on, and actually being supportive of my sister, and things that are going on for her and her life as well. Being of service ultimately to another. That's what it comes down to, is being of service to another and putting your personal plight and things that you like to do aside, because other things sometimes are more pressing and more important than your own. And to be able to push that aside and actually be of service to another and actually help them in a way has been actually an experience for me in itself that has actually helped me. Okay, but at the same time, I'm also having experiences outside the house when I'm going for walks that are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, now the other week I had an experience where I had to go and get some particular ingredients for dinner that night. We were having Mexican. I was cooking for everyone. And what happened was I forgot a couple of them. So anyway, I've gone up the shop at one stage, gotten some ingredients and things like that. And I forgot two particular main ingredients. So later on, I knew I had to go back up again. So anyway, about 2 hours later, I finally mustered the energy to go back up the shop. Getting old, can't sit there and rush these things. 2 hours later, I decided to get up and go up the shop and go get those other two things, and because I had some other things I had to take care of here as well. Okay. Anyway, I've decided to go back up the shop 2 hours later, get the two other ingredients that I needed, and I noticed as I was walking towards the shop there was a bit of strangeness in the sky, and I could see that there was clouds, as you can see here, straight lines again. Yeah, curious, eh? Yeah, this was on the way to the shop. Okay, so I took that photo as a reference. Okay, now I didn't see anything particularly as I was going to the shop other than that cloud. Okay, and I said to myself, I'll keep an eye on you. I hope you're outside still and visible when I come back out. Okay, so anyway, I've gone inside, gotten the two ingredients that I needed. I've come back out and I've got my phone in my hand. Now, what I didn't mention was that particular morning I did a video that you can go back and look at. And it was a report that had been put out by AMG News by Medea Greer about technologies that are coming out and things like that. And it actually aligned quite a lot with some of the information that Dan Willis has sent me in relation to crystal technologies and some of the things that him and I will be presenting together when we have our presentation. And I thought to myself, this would make actually an interesting topic and video. So I'm going to actually do something about it and do a video. So I did. And after I finished, I was actually up at the kitchen making a coffee. And look, I'll admit, I speak to those above that we've been talking about through Elena and Dr. Sala and Danny and everyone. I just speak out loud, sometimes, and just put my thoughts out into the universe. I just put them out there, and I just clearly and merely just asked a small question. I just said out loud, and I'll just say it the same way to use as I said that day. I said, Jen Hahn already, and if you're up there, my brother, I said, if you can see into my heart and into my mind, into my soul, I'm asking you right now, did I speak truth that was in alignment with that report in relation to Dan Willis's information that you had passed on to him from the Galactic Federation? Did that information align with each other? And did I do a good job in presenting that information? And I said, and if so, if you're able to, can you just do something, a little sign of some sort that, wherever, whenever, for me only that I would know, something that only I would know. You know what I mean? And anyway, this is before I've gone into the shop. Okay. So what's happened is, as I said, I've gone in and gotten the ingredients. I've come out, I've got my camera in my hand, and I've looked up to see if that cloud's still there. And sure enough, it was. And this is what it looked like at that point in time. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of you can see anything particular in that cloud there, but I know that I can. Okay, now, if my cursor is on screen, roughly around here is the letter C, and over here is the letter S. Now, I'm going to give you a comparison here, okay, so you can see back and forth. Okay, here we go. Can you see it now? Interesting, isn't it? C and S. It's pretty clear if you look at it closely. Okay? That is my initials, everyone, of Chris Sinclair. C and S. See? C and S in the sky. But the funny thing is that that's not how I write my initials to my signature now. Okay? It's totally different. I write my signature in cursive, and it's very, very similar to my father's, the way I write Sinclair, and it's a totally different S and a totally different C. Those particular letters and the way they're written in the sky is how I wrote my signature when I was in primary school with printing letters. Yes, that's the curious thing about it, is that they were obviously listening. So was Jen Han, if that's the case, or whoever it was, my higher self, whether it be Star Family, Ascended Masters, whoever it was that responded to my request or statement, question, asking to leave me a sign, only something that I would know, has obviously been watching me since before my childhood, has been with me since during my childhood, all the way through my teenage, adult years till now. Because those letters, particularly that you see in front of you there, that you see hidden in the sky right here in front of you, is exactly how I used to write my letters of my signature when I printed my name in primary school. Yeah, crazy high strangeness, everyone. What do you think about that? So I'm not saying it was Jen Han. I'm saying it could be my Star Family. It could be my Ascended Masters. It could be my higher self. I don't know. All I know is that you ask, you shall receive. If you're in the right mindset, vibration, frequency, consciousness, done the inner work on yourself. It's a matter of being of service to others and putting aside your own personal things and needs, desires, wants, and seeing the plight of another and seeing that you too can make a difference in their life. And that's the space that I've been in recently, as much as it's been a little bit hard for me, learning to share my space after being by myself for, God, so long now, but having new energies in the house. And as much as I have had to deal with the ups and downs of that, there's been a lot of beauty that's come from that, because, as I say, those that are of in higher mind state or state of mind, consciousness, vibration, and frequency, if you have another come into your space and stay in that space for a while that is of a lower sort of frequency of consciousness, vibration, frequency, usually what happens is that the other equalizes and comes up and meets the other. Okay, you don't come down to meet theirs, you maintain yours. Okay, they usually equalize, and what happens then is that you watch the beauty and wonder, and you are in awe ultimately of watching others around you have experiences that they've never had before, who are skeptics. Yes, skeptics. Yeah, I know. I got a family of skeptics who don't believe, but yet they've had some amazing experiences since they've been here. And as you've all heard in the previous video, about my sister and what has happened, which is a pretty sad story. how it started, but in essence, how the story ended with her experience the other morning for her was absolutely extraordinary for me anyway, knowing that she saw who she saw, her partner who had passed over, who'd been gone for 15 and a half years. So this is all going on around us all at once, everyone. I know, I've jumped from, different images of things in the sky to now high strangeness of my sister, having experiences and that, and the skepticism of them, but now seeing that for myself, because this is the rewards, okay, that money can't buy. Okay, these are the rewards, knowledge and wisdom and experience, and exchange of equal energy between individuals in a sense that helps them grow, expand, and evolve as well. And seeing them have these experiences has been mind-blowing to me. It's been heartwarming, to hear my sister come to me and ask me, who's just downright skeptic, come to me and ask me, Chris, can I talk to you about an experience that I had, with tears streaming down her face, knowing full well that what I was about to hear was absolute truth. And you can see it in my eyes and hear it in my voice now. I totally wholeheartedly believe her. That it happened because I believe her. It was true. So, yeah. So, anyway, everyone, what do you think about that? Some pretty cool, pictures in the sky there, that, excuse me, of images of things that have appeared for me that are of high strangeness in value, so to speak. But, when you look at the factor of what I'm doing here at the moment, and I have been a little bit not present online as much as I would like to be, at the same time, there are other things, the world is spinning, and there are other things that are just as important as what's going on around me in the world. But there are things with family that also need my attention. But by doing so, and putting my own personal needs, desires, and wants and things that I'd like to do aside for the sake of another or group of people, because it's 3 people plus 2 doggies and a cat that have come into my home, and share that space with them, I've found that this has been an uplifting experience in a sense that has been rewarding now, in that sense that I'm seeing results, asking, for that particular sign for me as a reward for doing what I've been doing for another. There's nothing in the world such as money or anything like gold or riches that can replace such experiences, because it fulfills your heart. It truly uplifts you in a sense that makes you feel fulfilled and know full well that these things are going on around you, and it's not by mistake. It's by grand design. Okay, it's all meant to. So that means there's a destination point at the end of all this that I'm heading to. Okay, so just let me know what your thoughts are, everyone, in relation to these pictures, because some of these things are just completely crazy. You see the C and the S there in the sky. You see a triangle here in the sky, perfectly camouflaged, but when I point it out to you, it's all there as well. Okay, you see this in South America, on another channel that morning, completely forget about it, and then you go for a walk that afternoon and you have your phone glitch out, and then this appears on it later on that evening when you're going through your photos to show your family the kangaroos. Oh, sorry, I didn't even load up the kangaroos, did I? No, I didn't. My gosh. And this thing's 90 degrees away from where you were standing. It's impossible physically for your lens to capture it that way. How is that possible? Excuse me, everyone. It's just physically not possible. It breaks the laws of physics, how that camera lens was able to capture that particular image. Now, as I've shown you also before in a previous video, I would like to show you this about how these things are in plain sight around us, everyone. See that picture there? That was captured off South Australia. I've done this shown this in another video previous before. That is not just a weather anomaly, everyone. Yes, it is what you believe in your heart. It is a set or group of motherships out over the ocean. Okay? Now, that is not something that the Weather Bureau can put aside as being a weather anomaly. Okay? It is not. Let your heart speak to you. Okay? Now, I've shown this as well, and I'm going to show it again. This appeared, everyone, during the closing ceremony. Forget the wanker that's bloody skydiving. I hope his parachute doesn't open. That's Mr. Tom Cruise there, the wanker. Okay? Let's hope his parachute didn't open, even though we all know it did. I'm just trying to put a little bit of shit on him. Sorry, guys. But as you can see in the background there, up in the sky just beneath my logo, S for Superman or Starseeds, you can see very closely here. Yes, that is exactly what it is. That is the Federation symbol from Star Trek, everyone. Yeah, the insignia logo's Delta symbol from Star Trek. Ad astra per aspera. To the stars through hardship. And that is exactly what we have been going through, everyone. We have been going through hardship. We have been enduring the hardships, the dark night of the soul. And in seeing that dark night of the soul, we are seeing the light arise from that. These people have controlled this planet for too long. It's now our consciousness, our vibrations, our frequency, our mindset, our love that's going to take back this planet from them, and is in the very process of doing that right now. But this is also another picture, as I've shown before in a previous video, how Space Force like to give us a nice little wave in the sky every now and again. Yes, that's the same one, but side on. Well, not the same one as such, but it's the same symbol as such. Very similar. Okay, I'll put it up this way for you. How's that? Yeah. Makes a lot of sense when you look at it like that, and then you look at it like that. Yeah. So yeah, please let me know your thoughts down below, everyone, in regards to these little experiences that I'm having and the things that I'm seeing, capturing myself with my own camera, and then also seeing things like that on screen and bringing them to you as well. Because really, at the end of the day, it takes a discerning eye to be able to see these things and intuitively know the connection that it means. And so by bringing these little screenshots and photos of my own to you and present them this way, it shows you that we're not alone, everyone. This is all going on around you, whether you see the evidence or not. Okay? It's just up to you opening your eyes, your heart, and your mind to a higher state of consciousness and being. When you see through 5D eyes, you don't see the world through. And I'm not saying I'm 5D or anything like that. I'm not, far out. None of us are yet. I'm just saying that when we do see life through 5D eyes, things will be so much different. But we can see the beginnings of that now with the way I view the world and how I see things. And you too can see these things too going on around you, just so long as you do the inner work, face your fears, face your past, forgive yourself, love yourself, tell yourself positive affirmations in the mirror. Let go of those things, those traumas, those negative aspects, vibrations, frequencies, memories, people, places, things that have held you down and held you back. Because these are the very things that are anchoring you down and stopping you from being as light as a feather and rising through the light, rising through consciousness, vibration, frequency, mindset, being of service to another, seeing yourself as secondary. As they say in Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one, everyone. That's the very definition of it there. Okay? Ex artis scientia. From the stars with knowledge, ad astra per aspera. To the stars through hardship. These mottos, these sayings are not by chance. They are by very design for us to go by, in the sense to give us something to aspire to be greater than ourselves. And by doing these very things that we're doing now, being of service to another, and actually helping and putting something of your own aside for the time being, such as my passions, such as doing these videos, and being of service to all of you online, and building this beautiful channel that I'd like to build, and having you be of service to me by helping and sharing and growing this channel, by sharing this my videos and my channel. That's what it's all part and parcel of. That's what it's all about. That's how you too grow. So please, in that sense as well, while we're on that matter, make sure you hit that share button and that like button, because it really does help me as a channel get out to a wider audience, because the algorithms really do shut us down, everyone. And really, I'm doing my part, but at the end of the day, you too have to do your part, in a sense of not just helping my channel grow, but for you. By doing such a thing as being of service to another, me, sharing the channel, giving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment, really not just only helps the channel get out to a wider audience, but it also helps you as a person, rise in vibration, consciousness, frequency, because you're being of service to another, me. You're helping me grow, expand, evolve. At the same time, through that experience, you too are gaining and experiencing and evolving and growing. Mind, body, vibration, frequency, consciousness. Okay? And that's how you too will start to see and view the world like this, where these things too will happen for you. You ask a question, sometimes these things come to you in a download or a physical expression in the sky, such as your initials being written in the way that you used to write them when you were in primary school. You know, I know it sounds bloody obscure and random and really left field, but as you can see, the evidence doesn't lie. It's right there in front of you. I've shown you. So in saying that, everyone, please do your part and help me grow and help yourself by doing that. Because we're all in this together. And there's no better way than doing it together. Because it's the only way we're going to get to that destination point that we're all heading to, and it's all coming. It's coming very shortly, everyone. I know I keep saying it, but mate, if you feel how I feel right now, knowing how close we are to everything that's going on right now, and knowing that we're almost at the end, you too would feel as excited and as elated inside as I do. I know that there's a lot of shit that's going on in the world. I know there's a lot of darkness going on in the world, but we can only do so much. We can only spread our energy so far, our concentration, our energies. But all is as it is supposed to be. Okay, remember that, everyone. Okay, and I'm not saying that people dying are supposed to all be part of the plan. No, I'm not at all. That is the most egregious thing, okay, that could ever happen. I'm saying that everything is as it should be right now, moving forward the way as it should be, and that we're almost at the end of this. And that, remember, there are very many promises in the back of that book that were written from Sumerian texts that says that we shall rise again from the grave. Okay, so those that have passed over, remember, there is power from the Creator who is able to give life again. Okay, so anyway, please, everyone, I'm going to stop rambling for the time being. Let me know what your thoughts are about these particular photos, the evidence that I've shown you today, and things that are going on around us all the time, and how my intuitive eye sees the world, and how you too can see the world as well. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts as to what's going on around me, what's in relation to this particular picture here, and how it appeared 90 degrees away from where I was standing currently, and how it has a direct correlation with what was shown on this particular channel on YouTube. That's Impossible channel that appeared in South America, or somewhere on the other side of the world. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was South America that it appeared. Okay, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are in relation to this. Do you think it's a possible TR-3B? Triangular aircraft that's been camouflaged in the sky, watching over me, like I've had many times before, as I've shown you on my channel. Let me know your thoughts below. Okay, but in saying that, everyone, I want to say thank you to you for just tuning in today and sharing in these experiences with me. I'm sorry that it's been a few weeks since I've actually done a video, but as I said, I've been of service, and I've been really just loving life and being around family at the moment, and just having the closeness of that, and learning that it's not just about me either, and that it's always about another, and just knowing that we too can make a difference in another person's life, and so can you. Okay, so in saying that, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye for the time being. I love you all. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Starseeds and Patriots of Down Under. Take care. Love you all.